We are on! Yes! Yes!
Did it work?
I'm on. I can see. I can see on Facebook
see
we're on.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh my goodness. Sorry about the
Where's
technical
mine?
difficulties. Can you see it on Facebook?
I haven't had any.
Yeah,
Tell me
you're
if we're lagging.
on.
Thank goodness. Alright. We
I
good?
think we're in.
Yeah, we're in.
Oh, I can see us.
My goodness. 48-minute delay. Alright, so welcome to another episode of Word From Home. This is our first time on Facebook Live. I'm Jem Lakian, your host. We're just starting. Tonight's guest, we've got Joflow Flores, founder of Joflow basketball, a program serving the kids in our Western Sydney community, teaching them the fundamentals and providing them with opportunities for the future. Welcome, Joflow. How are you?
Good, bro. What's up? What's up? It's been a long time coming. About 49 minutes.
Sorry about that. I was
It's
trying to
alright.
work it out. My first time on OBS. And
First time on Facebook.
yeah, first time on Facebook.
We live and we
First
learn.
time on Facebook. I've done 4 episodes on Instagram Live, so shout out to everyone that's been there from the start. It's good to be here. Joflow, how are you and your family dealing with this new way of life during quarantine?
Everyone's different. My sister's still going to work. Onyo's still going to work. Joseph's still going to work. It's just me, my dad, Mario, and my mom at home. So every day is different, man.
What
Like
do you mean?
sometimes we do something. Sometimes like there's really nothing to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's a weird time. What have you been up to? Like, what have you actually anything new? How has it really affected you? You know?
Oh, it has affected me tremendously. Like from what has been a busy schedule for me to pretty much nothing at all. It has allowed, although like it has allowed me to take a few steps back and rethink, reflect, especially about the program and where it's heading. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. But have you done anything like personal that has changed besides just doing the actual working on the program? Like anything that you've done yourself?
Say that again, sorry.
I can repeat that. So have you been doing anything your own, as in like your own personal? Have you been training differently? Have you been doing anything differently?
Oh, this quarantine has been so good to me, man. Like it has allowed me to like work on myself again.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I've lost about let's say 6-7 kilos.
Beautiful.
In like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it has let me really work on myself again. And in return for the program, like I'm gonna have a new energy when we come back.
It's better that you've done it in that way. You're working yourself now because it's better. Like you can actually use that with your kids and everyone that does the actual program, right?
New energy, man. Because when we were full on, I didn't have time to like work on myself. I didn't have time to train. I was always there. I was always kind of tired, and
Yeah, of course.
I just had to have a little bit of break. And this quarantine has given me that chance, you know.
Yeah.
Is this wine a new thing?
This one thing, I've been doing this to just relax myself, but it's not really a new thing. I've been doing this for a while. Toss knows. Shout out Toss.
Shout
I've been
out
doing these on
Toss.
Fridays and that.
How are you? How are you and your family?
No, we're good. We're really good actually. We've been doing a lot of different, you might see like I've been biking with my dad and going for big runs. I've been doing
You've
a
been
lot.
busy.
Actually.
You've been
Yeah.
busy today with work and stuff.
I've been really busy with work.
Work never stopped for you.
Yeah, just finished work then, and
It's good you still have time to work on something like this because for before we continue with our session, with our talk, like I just want to commend you for doing this, man. I know you've been planning this for a long time, and I'm so proud of you, bro.
Thanks, brother.
That you're doing something like this.
Yeah,
I think you'd be perfect for this, man. I've been telling you this before. Like you'd be good with this.
Yeah, no.
It will just be weird at first, you know.
Yeah, I remember my first few, like with Ali. Shout out Ali. The first few I was very nervous. I didn't know how to get it off and get my questions going. But I've been watching a lot of things. I've been studying and studying film. Been watching a lot of All the Smoke.
It's trial and error, man.
Trial
Like,
and error.
how you talk is not how you talk in real life. Like,
Yeah.
how you think you talk. How you think you look.
Yeah, it's different as well.
But
Just
it's good.
talking to a screen.
You have a lot of things to share.
Yeah.
You're very charismatic, bro.
Yeah, I know you've been trying to get me on this for a while, and I've always wanted to do it. Maybe, since 2016 we've been talking about it, but I've never really had the platform. And that first time you got me on your first Joflow, or shout out Joflow Basketball Diaries.
On the podcast, shout out to Jordan. He's allowed me to do these stuff. Like,
Definitely.
my weakness with technology is my head hurts when we try to set up things, and
Yeah,
all props to Jordan for setting it up, making it easy for me
definitely.
and all that. Like, yeah, so convenient, man.
I wish I had
Thank you
Jordan
so much, Jordan.
helping me out just then. I was 49
I
minutes.
told you last night, let's ask Jordan for a bit of help, and you're like, oh, let me figure this out first.
Yeah,
Mamba mentality. I'm like, Mamba would have asked for help straight away.
You know how I am. Always trying to do shit on my own before anything.
Yeah.
My big ego. So for those that don't know, I'm just starting my own little thing that I've got going on. I wouldn't call it a podcast. Maybe just I've got my YouTube channel. You can follow it now on @StartSomewhereMedia on YouTube and Instagram. I'm just starting it now. It hasn't been. I haven't really released anything yet on those platforms. It's just starting it, but you can definitely follow me on there. When it does release properly, I'll definitely let you guys know, and you guys will know through my stories on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah,
Let everyone know, man. Flood their stories. flood all their timelines, man.
definitely. I just want to be doing this because I know that there's a lot of people that I know that we can get. I want to hear their stories. Hopefully, those stories might inspire other people to do things that they've always wanted to do but never had the courage to do. Just like this, when you invited me to come do your first Joflow podcast, I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna come out and do that. But then after that, I was like, all right, I want to go do my own thing. I was telling Jordan, like that was a cool day. Shout out Jordan for getting me into that as well. So that was cool, and here we are.
Yeah, who knows? Like, who knows who will get inspired with your stories, man? Like,
Yeah, there's a lot
I'm
of
pretty sure at least one person will get motivated. You know?
yeah, for sure. I've got what's it called? Yeah, there's a lot of people like athletes and musicians that are in, that I know that can talk about
They
how
just
they
need a little
started.
push.
Yeah, and then they can also push those other people that I know. But yeah, going back, tell us about how you actually started, Joflow Basketball. Take us to the start from that.
Joflow, the actual company started in 2018, late 2018. So it started as the most humble beginning. Like, I was contacting everyone.
Yeah.
I was adding people I didn't know, like, and then just messaging them about how I have a training program. They might be interested to try it out. When I started, we started outdoors. So I was messaging them for individual workouts if they want to try it out, and all that. And then I just got the opportunity to rent out a place down at Bidwell, and I've never left. It's just really, really humble beginnings. Like, putting yourself out there. There's gonna be a lot of rejections, but maybe one or two people might be interested, and then you do your best, like, and then they pass it through, like, oh, this one's okay, like this training program, okay, like it's pretty good, and then they tell their friends, and then I think that's how Joflow pretty much grew.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And now you've got a spot over in Bidwell.
Yeah. So we're pretty much there every day when the program's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 5 days a week. So it definitely grew in like less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still planning to make it grow. Like, we're not gonna stop anymore, man.
Yeah, well, definitely not going to stop, and I know you've got future plans ahead. But with the whole coronavirus and quarantine right now, and it's put a halt onto everything with the whole world and all of our activities. What have you actually been doing to during this time where we can't actually be around, your members or your like? What have you been doing in that time?
So like we can't really do much because our one is pretty hands on. But Jordan and I have been working on something that's gonna be remote.
Yeah.
So just like Zoom trainings, like just getting something from the what they call it, the Instagram trainers, like how they do it.
Yeah.
And then like maybe just Zoom training until everything goes back to normal again.
I was telling you.
But we're still working it out.
Yeah.
Hopefully by this weekend or by this week we set it up.
Remember, I was telling you last week you should do like an app, like 94 feet.
The thing with it is, like, I don't know anything about technology, like, even though I research it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit harder, the concept, man.
Yeah, I was telling you should make an app, and you're like, how do I make an app? And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm just giving you ideas and suggestions.
I'm giving you the idea, you execute it, bro.
And then, I know you had a Philippines tour upcoming, and you would have been in the Philippines right now. We were gonna meet up sometime during this time for that.
Like April-ish, like we planned it to meet up. Yeah, it would have been good.
Tell us more about that. Even let's just say that coronavirus never happened. What was actually going to happen with that program?
It would have been, like, to be completely honest, it has been positive for me. Like, if this didn't happen, I really think, like, the boys will be killing it there, man.
Yeah.
Like, they've worked so hard. Like, from last year when they were kind of trialing it out, like, I didn't know they were gonna commit to it as hard as they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so proud of them at the end, but unfortunately, like, right at the end of our journey, everything was kind of canceled, you know?
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, man, we were beating New South Wales teams, like the rep teams, state league teams. Like, they were really doing good, man. I was so proud of them.
Yeah, I remember you guys were having runs with different teams from not just the area but around the state, and you guys were training really hard. Who are you out in the Philippines? Who are you going to play? What was set up there?
We were scheduled to play the top college teams like NU, like Ateneo and stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it's not about us winning. It's about the kids getting opportunities. Maybe some of them wanted to play college, like, and they get picked up. You know,
of course. It's
not about we have to win all of this. So yeah, it's all about equal opportunities for them.
Yeah. That's definitely what I was saying earlier at the start of your introduction. That what you guys were teaching just provides more opportunities. So that's definitely one of them. How did you come up with the
opportunity? Say that again, sorry.
You know, hard work and hard training and commitment will provide like your training program will provide opportunities in the future, just like your Philippines tour. How did you come up with that concept?
Yeah, I played high school in Philippines before before we as a family migrated to Australia. And then when I was in Australia, after I became a citizen, I went to Philippines straight away to play college ball. Like,
yeah.
To be honest, I think of it, and up until to this day, like, it's the best experience, man. Like, it's a great story to tell.
Yeah.
Every day you're just grinding for your dreams, and basketball to do it every day is such a blessing, man. And because I don't have the opportunity to play it at a high level anymore, I just want to share it with everyone else. Because I think, like, if you have an opportunity to play a sport for a living, like, it's really, really, like, good to, like, really think about it, try it out, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, put everything on hold for a bit and then just see what you can do. It's crazy. Playing professional sports, you gotta be a little bit crazy, but it's a great experience at the end of it.
Absolutely. You know what? Let's go back to when you started playing basketball. So you started playing at a young age in the Philippines, and then tell everyone how you went transitioned from the Philippines to where you are now.
Oh, like being me here, teaching a lot of kids, like it takes me back to when I didn't even know how to play.
Yeah.
Like it's really a great story for me because from me crying to play, it's big, and now I'm teaching it. Like for those people who was there for me from the start, like they would never see this coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like me being really good at it, it was just a fluke that I became really good. That I like time gets really lost when I'm playing basketball. I could play it 4, 5, 6 hours before and didn't even know what time it was.
Yeah.
You know, and then I just kept improving. I just kept turning up. It wasn't really hard work. I just kept turning up. I didn't know I was working on my skills, but that was going. You know what I mean? Does it make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. You were just, you were just having fun. It was what you loved, what you were passionate about, and you were getting better at the same time because you were just doing what you loved.
Yeah, and then transitioning to Australia, I thought it was going to be the hardest thing because in Philippines, when we speak English, we laugh with it. It wasn't really something like, oh, you're speaking English, you can't speak it. Like, you can't speak English and not laugh.
Yeah.
So I was like,
even now,
man, they're gonna think I'm a hyena in there, bro. Because speaking English and laughing at the same time. But yeah, basketball has given me that confidence because they, instead of me making friends, they try to make friends with me because I knew how to play. The simple fact that I can play basketball is like enough for them. Like, oh, I want to be friends with Jose because he knew how to play basketball. It was such a cool idea to be good at something, be good at a sport.
You don't realize until you grow up how much basketball has helped you connect with different people. And like growing up, sometimes Chelsea will ask me, how do you know, like, not how do I know this guy, but like when I walk around, how do you, like, I'll say hi to this guy, and how do you know him? Oh, I used to play basketball when I was younger. But you just never know how much it's connected you to meet so many different people, plus,
Yeah, bro, most of the people I know them because of basketball.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we found each other because of basketball, and then we found out we were distant relatives, and that's just because of basketball.
Yeah.
And I think basketball every day ever since I came to Australia because I didn't even need to be good at English. Like, my first friends like Jun Lee, Daryl, Long.
Shout out Jun Lee.
I didn't speak English to them.
Yeah.
For like how many months, man? Like, they spoke Tagalog to me. They tried to. Just because I could play basketball, man. Basketball's given me so much.
Of course. If you guys want to hear more about Joe Boy's start to his basketball, how he got into basketball, you can follow his Joflow Basketball Diaries on. You can follow on Spotify.
Yeah, we have it on all of the podcast. Just follow us on Joflow Basketball Official. We post everything in there, even the replays, the links, everything. We put it out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to support local businesses as well, like sharing their stories too. Every Saturday, 4 p.m. if you have any time.
Follow Joflow Basketball on Facebook and Instagram. If you guys have just joined us, I've got Joflow. I've got Joe Boy Flores from the basketball program of Joflow Basketball here in Western Sydney. And we're just talking about basketball. We're just talking about basketball, his program, a bit of our friendship. We can go days and months going back into that, but we're really
from day one
into basketball, yeah.
Although Jim wasn't nice from day one,
and
he was nice in like day 40 or something.
But that's the thing with me, right? Like a lot of people think that at first I come off as like a mad dickhead, right?
You weren't nice, especially to a freshie.
A lot of people think of me and come off as a mad dickhead, but when you get to know me, you really get to know me. I just that's that, yeah.
to start.
Joe, what plans have you got for Joflow in the next? When coronavirus and the quarantine's over, what plans have you got?
We're gonna start everything straight away, but I can't disclose the future plans for now because I want to keep it on the low as much as I can. But there's some big plans, man. I have huge plans.
Yeah.
But if I had big plans at the beginning, I have bigger plans now. People that surrounded me, genuine, beautiful people, have really made me see where this thing can go.
Yeah.
Honest feedbacks and criticism, man, and all that. But yeah, opportunities and a lot more experiences and exposure for them. That's what I'm planning. Yeah, can't disclose anything right now because it's not set in stone yet, unfortunately.
Of course, and you don't want to let people. You don't want too many people to know your next move anyway, because the world's crazy. A lot of people are envious. You just don't want people will tell you no. You don't want to listen to that. So just
No,
do what you gotta do.
You want to listen to yourself and your close friends, you know.
I just thought you'd want to tell us so that.
Not yet. When the time comes, maybe in a few months.
I know we've been speaking briefly about Last Dance. So the first 4 episodes of Michael Jordan's The Last Dance documentary has come out on Netflix here in Australia and on
Isn't he the best?
in America. Pardon?
Is he the best? Isn't he the best?
I'll say he's 1A, and there's another 1 and 1B.
It's always gonna be Mamba.
That's number 1. There's a lot of reasons why Kobe Bryant is the best basketball player to ever grace the hard court. But anyways, we'll go to that another time. But with The Last Dance and Michael Jordan, the first 4 episodes, what are the first things you think of? What can you comment on?
First 4 episodes probably
because the first 2 was about Scotty and Jerry Krause. I didn't even know about Jerry Krause until the first 2 episodes.
We never, I didn't even know Jerry Krause existed. But I think the documentary is about, giving you an insight on the behind the scenes. Kind of, the management aspect to it. That if you have, the contracts and everything, you know.
Yeah.
It's not just the game, but the game within the game per se. Yeah, it's big too. Jerry Krause didn't have anything to do with Scottie Pippen's contract, but 7 years, Scottie Pippen signed up to it. All those kind of stuff, and then everyone hated Jerry Krause because they think they lowballed Scottie Pippen. But I think the most underpaid athlete of all time is still Michael Jordan.
Underpaid?
The most underpaid. Only the last 2 years of Michael Jordan in Chicago Bulls was when he got what he deserved at the time, Everything was 300K, and then 1 million, 2 million, 3 million.
Well, if you compare it to today's contracts, it definitely is underpaid, but he's made his money.
Well, the basketball would not have been the same if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, because he took it internationally. He made everyone want to play the game.
What about the next 3 episode 3 and 4 was mostly about Dennis Rodman. I see your tweets are all firing, saying, oh man, I grew up watching MJ, he really inspired me. And then I'm thinking, so MJ and The Last Dance was 1998. 1998. All right.
Yeah.
Joe Boy born 1992, right?
Yeah.
So you're 6 years old.
I watched the 2 finals.
6 years old. You live in the Philippines. So TV in the Philippines at 6 years old in the 90s is like you watching the finals 1 week later, right?
Nah. To be honest with you, my dad hooked me up, got me hooked on basketball for early on.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching the 2 finals against Utah. For some reason, I can vividly remember now. I don't even know the rules. I thought when you're a 3-point shooter, every time you shoot, it's a 3-pointer. Because I didn't know how the scores in that work.
Mm.
Yeah, like to be honest, like when Michael Jordan retired, I thought basketball was done. Like there's no more basketball. That kind of stuff. I don't know why I can remember so early on, but that I could remember those finals, man. To be honest.
You know what? Like, I really don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna
No,
get into it.
because in Philippines, like Jim, like to be honest, Australia is not that hype for basketball.
Yeah.
Like if you're in fields, it's free. Basketball is free to watch on TV. It's like the teleseries in Philippines.
Yeah, that's true. They got like their own basketball.
In here, you can't watch it if you don't have any internet. Like you can't watch it on normal TV.
That's
and
true.
There's nothing on normal TV here anyway.
That's true. So would you say MJ was your first, first role?
They know
hero?
anyone else except Scottie Pippen, MJ, Rodman, and Ron Harper. I found out about Steve Kerr after I watched all the They had a basketball TV, so I found out about Steve Kerr when I was watching the greatest game.
Yeah.
Like the one where they replay the best, like the good games back then. So that's when I found out about Larry Bird, how they played, Isaiah Thomas, like Dr. J and them.
Oh, that
Really fascinating, man.
Yeah, speaking of fascinating and of, you brought up Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons were featured mostly on episode 3 and 4, and I watched a lot of videos today on Isaiah Thomas on ESPN talking about how MJ spoke about him and everything. Don't you think that the Detroit Pistons were very overlooked in the 80s? Because it feels like there was a transition between, Larry Bird,
before
Celtics,
Jordan, it was the Detroit 8.
Magic Johnson, Lakers versing each other in the 80s, and then it just feels like it's switched over to MJ and the Shaq and Pippen
Straight
and the
away.
Chicago Bulls, but everyone forgets that the Bad Boy Pistons beat all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because the narrative said they were the bad guys, man.
Yeah.
It's all about the narrative, how the media wants to control everything, because they want to straight.
Yeah, they really control
They
how
were
MJ's
killing teams, man.
Yeah, they really try and control how MJ's the best player ever, but we all know.
Nah, you are. For me, anyway. Till I die, bro. MJ till I die.
Hey, let's talk about 2020 so far.
How about I have a question for you. Give me 3 people. Maybe just put the top 3 players of today. You reckon they can play in any era of basketball?
Of today?
Yeah. Who do you think can and cannot?
3 players
Not,
that can play in today.
Just basketball, the whole season, everything.
That can translate into which era? Because you got to put it
to
into
any era, like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Because I have some really good thoughts with this one. I want you to agree or disagree.
Well, I think you can plug and play Russell Westbrook into any era.
Any era.
Any era. He's
because Russell Westbrook got those knee issues.
No.
Early in his career.
Yeah.
You reckon he would have just survived like 70s?
Yeah, definitely. He's had those knee issues. He's had those knee issues, and he's still playing at a high level today. Derrick Rose had knee issues, and he never came back.
No. Like, for example, Steph Curry. Have a think about this one. Steph Curry, if he can play one game, like one game's nothing. Like, imagine Steph Curry when he was he had the ankle injury. Remember when he couldn't play a game because he kept doing his ankle.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So he benefited from the modern medicine. Would you say?
Yeah.
So if he played in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you reckon his career would have been over with the ankle issues?
I didn't know medicine was in this. I thought we were just talking about game, the way that they play. I didn't think.
No, not the way that they play, but like take the whole thing. Take the thing as a whole.
All right. Well,
because there's a lot of players that could have been the greatest, but they got injured, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And they didn't know what to do back in the day.
Well, I'll definitely put in, like I said, Russell Westbrook, one. He'll get up, he'll keep playing, and he plays tough. He plays 100 all the time. LeBron James, he's on HGH. He never.
What if there's no HGH back in the day? I don't know.
No, you can't say that. But LeBron will definitely be able to play in the
at a high level.
Who's third? Can't shoot. Kawhi Leonard.
No, but you know what? You gotta think of like just raw
Kawhi's knees
athleticism.
are a bit. You can't load manage back in the day. So Kawhi, I don't know about Kawhi.
No load management. Remember what I know Larry Bird said? Like, if you think we were tough, people in the 50s, like they traveled by those horses for 50 cents, man, on away game.
Mm.
No one would do that today. And if you get injured, like even like that's what I'm saying. You reckon Russell Westbrook would have?
Yeah. I reckon Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Let's just cap it up there.
Your three favorite players.
Next show. And three people that couldn't.
That's just something to think about. They benefited from modern medicine, you know. And I'm not saying the way they play, because the way they play, you put anyone, even the people on the bench to the 50s, they dominated. Their skills are so much more advanced. Like the game has grown so much.
Draymond would definitely translate into old school as well.
Oh, yeah, he'll get into a lot of fights.
Yeah, Draymond. Yeah. Westbrook, LeBron, and AD. Draymond. People that wouldn't survive in the old school.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say now, bro.
There's one guy that never shows up in the playoffs. No, you know.
Unfortunately, stuff happens, you know.
No, I love CP3. He's a gun. One of my favorite players too. I just love ripping into him because of you. But yeah. Speaking of CP3, so I know CP3 is one of the players that has inspired you since we were kids back in high school. Tell us who else inspires you to be great and do the things that you want to do.
Like a player.
Yeah.
It's always been CP3. Like every year, you see a different kind of CP3. Like you see a different skill. You see a different outlook on the game. Do you watch CP? You watch CP3 every year. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Like if you watch CP3 every year, there's a different move, different go-to move.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the same. But it's the same killer. Like on crunch time, you can count on him.
Like in the playoffs?
Unfortunately, he gets injured, guys. Like, do your research before you.
What happened with the Clippers when they had Blake Griffin, Jamal Crawford, CP3?
Remember,
DeAndre
are
Jordan,
supposed to be championship year. I don't know what year it is, but I'm not good with years. But the one where we lost to Houston Rockets when CP3 did his hamstring.
Yeah, well,
we were up 3-1.
3-1, and that was your year.
That was our year, and then the next year, I think
Did you lose to James Harden and Dwight Howard? Was that the team?
You know who beat us? Up until this day, like Josh Smith. Up until this day, who the hell is Josh Smith?
The next year, he went to China.
It's not even James Harden, bro. It's Josh Smith. He killed us.
Smith. He's
the left-handed
player,
LeBron.
that's why. He can shoot.
That hurts, bro.
Yeah, that team. We could talk all day about that team, but you would have been a champion already. You would have been a champion if in 2011 David Stern never vetoed that trade for CP3 to the Lakers, and you would have been with your boy. We would have went. Listen, this is what would have happened for everyone out there. I'm going to say that everyone that knows me and we've talked about this. This is what would have happened. 2011, Chris Paul would have came to the Los Angeles Lakers.
I was in Singapore on the way to Philippines, man. I was like, oh, CP is going to the Lakers.
Did they have the TV screens at Manila Naya Airport and you saw that?
No, I was in Singapore.
Oh, you were at Singapore, okay.
Yeah. And then everyone's statusing on Facebook.
Yeah.
CP to the Lakers, and then a few minutes, it got vetoed. I'm like, what does veto mean? Like the only time I hear about veto is freaking ancient history, man. I didn't know they can do that.
Oh, it is. I don't know, Elgin Marbles and. Shout out Ben Tutuki, no joke.
I'm like, what is veto? Like, I had to research what it meant and stuff. You know, like, who vetoes a trade?
Yeah. So what would have happened if we got CP3 to the Lakers? What would have happened was, so Kobe would have had his 5 already. 2011, we get CP3. How many rings do you reckon we would have had, Joe boy? Honestly, truthfully.
I reckon 1 or 2 things would have happened. It's either a lot of...
CP3 wouldn't get injured because we have the best training staff. We have Judy Cito and Frank Vitti and Gary Vitti.
They have a good track record, yeah.
They would have took care of him, and
we would have won a bit.
The load would have been taken off both Kobe and CP3. So think of that.
That's true. But 1 or 2 things would have happened. Is either we won everything, or remember Steve Nash did to Dwight Howard year. Who was the best player in that year? Remember?
Kobe.
Classes in sessions, bro. That's your best player.
But we're talking about what would have happened if we had CP3.
I don't know, 1 or 2 things. Either we lost everything or we win everything. Those are 2 alpha males, man.
This is what would have happened, right? So everyone talks about how LeBron went to how many finals? Right? Oh, that's my dog.
No.
Sorry. So how many finals LeBron gone to? 9?
I don't know. He won like how many?
But Kobe and CP3 would have gone at least 2 to 3 finals, and we would have won 2. Kobe would have then had 7 rings. He would have gone 7 for 9. And we wouldn't have this talk. We wouldn't have this discussion about Kobe, about MJ, LeBron, and Kobe. It would be Kobe. That's it.
7 rings.
7. He would have had 1 up on MJ, but David Stern wanted to ruin everything. I reckon MJ paid David Stern. Who vetoes?
I don't know, bro. I've never heard anything like that. Like they allowed the Celtics Big 3. Garnett was so special back in the day too.
Yeah, see, speaking of Garnett and the Celtics Big 3, the only team in their prime, Kobe Bryant and the Lakers in Game 7 of 2010 got them back after the 08 loss. I just want to say that. Like, we didn't jump ship. We didn't move to any other team. We stayed and we beat our rivals.
Celtics. Bro, you had Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum back in the day. Like,
what happened
so good.
after Kobe?
And
what happened?
Ariza.
What could they do without Kobe? Kobe brought out the best of his players.
Ron Artest was your best player in Game 7, man.
He was. Not gonna lie. He was. I watch it all the time. He saved it. But that's what happens.
It would have been sweet. Miss Kobe? You miss Kobe?
Yeah. I think about it every day.
How were you when you heard about the story, Jim?
Probably like every other basketball fan or real true basketball fan, or someone that knew Kobe himself. So even just fans of Kobe, everyone has said kind of the same thing. It felt like someone close to them or a family member passed away, and I think about it all the time, and it really, especially when someone growing up when you're a kid and is your idol and your hero, and they just go like that. Especially someone that always gets back from everything, and they always get back from everything. They always fight through all the adversity, and then just to go like that. So it was very crazy when it all happened. And I remember that day.
I think that was the first time like I kind of mourned for someone.
You didn't know.
I don't really know.
A celebrity.
Yeah.
It's weird because even now, like I can't grasp my head around it. It's very weird. Whenever I see photos or anything on Instagram or Facebook, it's just like
it's pretty emotional. It's really an emotional moment for basketball players, especially the big basketball fans.
True fans know what he brought to the game. Not only to the game. My three idols. I tell people my three idols is Kobe. Kobe 1, growing up, The Rock, and Manny Pacquiao. But the three things between all of them that is that they're not just great at what they do. Like a boxer, The Rock was first a wrestler, and Kobe's a basketball player. Outside of what they did, outside of basketball, they are great at what they do. They do other things besides their own profession. So I look up to them in that way as well. That they're able to move and branch out into different things. As in, Kobe was able to get a Oscar and create books and storytelling. Had his own media agency. The Rock is now one of the most high-profile Hollywood actors out there. Some people
from wrestling, man.
But wrestling, he was huge in wrestling. He was probably the best back in the 90s and 2000s. But now he's, one of the biggest actors out there. And Manny Pacquiao is a senator of a country when he never finished high school.
Yeah.
So it is.
That's crazy, man. Like that's so inspiring. Manny Pacquiao's story. No matter how much people laughed at him at the start.
Yeah, he really tries. Like he does his best in trying to learn English, trying to learn the legal system out there. He really does his best. So, yeah, what an idol.
Who inspires you, Jem?
Who inspires me?
Yeah. To do something great. I know we've been talking about doing something great for a very long time now. Like, no matter what it is, like be great. Like,
yeah, well, definitely.
Where's that coming from?
I've got a lot of different inspirations. Kobe's always been one. After he passed away, I was like, it wasn't a trigger, but it's like when someone so big like that, so big, passes away and just leaves this world, it really shows. It really shows that we aren't given infinite time on this world. So you got to go do everything that you want to do. Especially with someone like Kobe that every day would commit and do so much every single day for 100% in his life. And then just to go away like that, it really showed that you got to be committed, and you also got to do everything that you want to do. You can't take life.
Take anything for granted, eh?
Yeah. Definitely people that are around me, like Chelsea. Ever since she came in my life, I was always trying to navigate and do things that I wouldn't have done if it was just me partying back in the day and all that. So we do a lot of video content now. I'm getting back into photography. Definitely my family.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, definitely my family. They've always been working hard. Whatever they do, so I try and do the same. And I've got a lot of at work. Not just work, but like I've got mentors that I shout out Reinhard Bedado and that owns Full Force Gym out of Blacktown, and Gab Ayub, one of my mentors at work, and a whole lot of people that I look up, like I listen to, I see how they work, I try and pick their brain, so I try and do my own thing. I'm trying to navigate into my own thing now. But those are definitely like my dad, my mom, my family, Charles, Kobe, all my mentors. They definitely get me through that. They definitely inspire me. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Let's talk about 2020 so far. I know we've been on for 45 minutes, but I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying getting out there, starting this.
I'm enjoying catching up.
Yeah, even though we can't do it on. Is Toss on? Toss, comment if you're on. Oh, there he is. Only goats get vetoed. Yeah, Toss is here. I know between me and you, we have about 100 plus friends, and we've got 6 on right now. But it's all good. Like
we have about 400, 500 mutual friends. I just want to tell the people here, like, in the Filipino community, I'm pretty charismatic, like, because I can joke around in Tagalog. But most of the people I know from here, when I started, I met them through Jem. That's why I've been pushing Jem to do all this stuff, because like I see his charisma whenever he's around people, and how much they look up to him. And then I was telling you, I don't know if you remember this, but I was telling you before, even if you sell barbecue, people are gonna buy just because you're Jem. Remember, barbecue ka. Barbecue in gulaman, it's gonna click.
Or maybe I should go do that then.
Barbecue, and then just vlog it.
No, definitely I'll be releasing a whole bunch of content in the next few months and next few years.
I know you won't settle for those anyway.
Nothing against gulaman and barbecue sticks.
You just don't know how to do it.
That's why I don't want to do it. But sorry, my dog's biting my pillow. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I don't know, I've just always been like this, I guess. Just growing up now, trying to do new things. We're not young anymore. We're not that, like when we first met.
Yeah.
So we've gone through your inspiration, CP3, MJ. We've talked about Kobe and what happened. Let's talk about, 2020 so far. No NBA. People are off work, which is a lot of people going through hard times. It's been a weird year, but how have you adjusted to things? And what?
It's been weird for me, especially when this coronavirus thing started.
Yeah.
Like the attention it was getting in social media was so big, and then you go outside, the aisles of the supermarkets were empty. Crazy. And then you think it's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. Like it's actually that setting, end of the world setting, and then you're just like, and then you see people getting grumpy and stuff. You see the worst of them in the worst situations, like how they responded.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Like that's life.
Yeah. Just
2020 it hasn't been really that good, but
it's been. Really,
I was hoping it was gonna be a big year, especially for my company, for Joflow.
You know what I've been saying all 2019 leading up to 2020. I was saying 2020
vision.
2020 vision. This is the year.
That's not from 2019. That was probably from 2013.
I probably Gem cursed it.
You Gem cursed it.
But for those people that have just tuned in, or people that don't know what a Gem curse is, every time I go for a specific team or a specific person that's about to fight in the UFC or in boxing, I'll be like, oh, bro, trust me, this guy, Alistair Overeem, he's the next big thing. He's going to be UFC heavyweight champion. Watch him. Boom!
Tested for drugs.
Tested for drugs. Oh, watch this, bro. Ronda Rousey's going to go kill it. Ronda Rousey's going to go kill it. Blah, blah, blah. I go watch the fight. Boom! Knocked out.
How funny is your every year before the start of the NBA season, you put up a huge paragraph.
I
Of your,
put up my
what you think
yearly
was gonna
annual
happen that
status
season, and then
during the day one of the season, and then everything just backfired. So you know what I did this year? I didn't say shit.
But you were full 2020 vision
Yeah, and look what happened.
for like 7 years.
The whole NBA got cancelled. Shout
They
out,
won't let you win.
shout out, Keanu Molina. Yeah, we're not. It's not really a podcast. I don't want to be calling it a podcast. Maybe a YouTube channel in the future. Live, Facebook, Instagram live. I've been doing right now. I'll probably be doing some YouTube live upcoming. I've got my boy Pierre. I don't know if you've met Pierre, my Lebanese friend. We're gonna be doing some stuff as well together, and he's very, like, his personality. He's high character. So when he knows a lot about basketball. He knows a lot about
Does he play?
about football and music. No, he doesn't play. He's level.
Lebos can play every.
Bro, what do you mean? The ones at Auburn? Yeah, some of them.
Always
Some
want
of
to
them-
start
No,
fighting.
but they're tough. Like, and not tough. Like, they
They're tough.
don't stop. They don't stop. Even though they're not the most skilled. But yeah, me and Pierre will be doing some stuff on YouTube for my YouTube and Instagram. So if you guys can follow it, there's nothing on there on YouTube or Instagram. Toss. I'm out, bro. It's in the kitchen. I'm out. I don't want to tell Chelsea to go grab it for me. She'll get mad. Yeah, you can follow me at Start Somewhere Media on Instagram and on YouTube. Definitely going to be releasing a whole bunch of stuff there. Shout out everyone that's watching and been watching from the start, from Instagram Live. This is episode 5 of Word from Home. Yeah, so
In a few years, we'll get back to this one and
these
see
are
how
gonna
much
be
better
those-
we're doing.
I hope so. No, you know,
I bet you it's gonna
we'll
be.
look back
It's
and
gonna be like a really good moment for
yeah,
us.
I uploaded my Instagram Live ones just to put some content on my YouTube. You can check it out there. I've so far had Albie Smiles, one of my dear friends, brothers, Albie Smiles, the DJ producer of trance and house music. I've had Andre Pascini, one of my dear friends as well that I grew up with. He has Andrico at Andrico Productions on Instagram and on YouTube, which is his own little up and coming filmmaking production business, and Sydney Spiral Stairs that he does for construction around the city and in Sydney. My third episode was with at Soul Music Group. Shout out Andrew Noriega and Sarush, a record label out in Orange
How's
County.
Sarush?
Huh?
Is he doing anything productive, that guy?
Yeah, no, he's got this soul record label with his boys out in Orange County, California. I had a interview with them, and on my fourth, I had Jaquil. I had at Savino and that, and part of Planet Vegeta. And what I did was I didn't actually get to save the Instagram video, so I can't put that on YouTube, and I'm spewing because I thought
You can always have him back.
But I told him I'm going to catch up with him in the studio. I've got a few people that I've reached out to for the next few episodes. I like that I've worked out how to do it.
Something big. You mentioned something big.
I got someone that's international. I got a few actually that are all my guests are special, but definitely I've got one that's I don't want to say it yet because I don't want to jinx it.
Don't
But I've got
disclose it,
someone-
bro.
Yeah, I don't want to
You don't
disclose
wanna
it. I've got
jinx it.
someone. I'm gonna try and get it once I got my start somewhere on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and everything's really started. I'm gonna get him on so that he can kind of get me out there and the exposure. But yeah, I got my last question for you for tonight. 6 minutes. Let's run it into 1 hour. Tell me, Joe Boy, why could Jordan not do it without Pippen?
Bro, you look at their interviews, like the mindset back in the day and the mindset now, like they knew what it took to win championships, and you have to do it with the team, and they knew they had had to wait for their time to win. Not a knock on LeBron, but they knew there was timings to it. Like you can't just win it straight away and by yourself.
Yeah.
Like it was just a whole different mentality. Like they can say whatever they want. Oh, they couldn't. Jordan couldn't do it without Pippen, but Pippen can't do it without Jordan as well. But at the end of the day, they're a team, and they're one of the best duos of all time.
Yeah, one of. The best duo that he's speaking of.
One of the best duos of all time, yeah.
Probably the best duo of all time is Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal of between 19...
Arguably.
Yeah. Because
you have...
There was a debate this week or last week between could Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, say 01 Lakers that went...
three-peat?
No, not our three-peat team. The one that went 15-1. Could that team beat the 72-10 Chicago Bulls? What do you think?
It's different, man. Because
Oh, are you backtracking already?
No, I'm just thinking about how Bulls and them were playing against Shaq, and they were actually struggling against Shaq when Shaq got into the Lakers.
Because I think of it this way. Young Kobe and MJ cancel each other out.
No one's canceling each other out. Like, if young Kobe says anything to MJ, that would have been game over.
Yeah, you don't talk
just
to
don't
MJ,
talk.
I know that.
but yeah, Shaq was different, man. Like, if we had enough people, if we, like, part of the Bulls organization, I'm saying we.
But I always talk we.
No, if the Bulls have enough people to foul Shaq and him missing enough free throws, I reckon Bulls can
Do you
be a
think
problem.
Rodman could take Shaq? You reckon Rodman could take Shaq?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think.
Maybe in some games, like he can.
I reckon we'd go
disrupt-
Game 7 and we'd
disrupt
take it
game.
out at the end. I reckon he'll go Game 7 and we'll take it out at the end.
It can go anyway, bro. Shaq was a problem. Like people don't even understand, man.
I know people don't forget. I will never forget. I started following the Lakers due to Shaq. Well, the Shaq days.
I was a big Shaq fan. Like even in Miami Heat when they won the championship, even when they didn't win the championship, like I was always like dump it in the post.
Yeah.
Like because he was that unstoppable.
My
the only downfall are those free throws,
and
just always fouling.
Yeah.
But as great as Jordan, like he won't be able to take Shaq 1-on-1. Too agile, too big, too strong, too dominant. And he gives you the elbow, and the rest don't even call anything.
Do you remember the first time you watched a game of basketball or anything? Because I remember.
Jazz, bro.
I think Chelsea asked me. Why was it Chelsea? Someone asked me, like, what's with your obsession with the Lakers? Like, why do you love the Lakers so much? And
why do you love the Lakers so much? Tell the people.
Yeah, so and then I really thought about it. I was like, when did it all start? Where? Yeah. So I was telling Chelsea, I was like, when did it actually all start? And I really thought, shout out to my Tito on Facebook, it's Cayetano de la Cruz. Tito Chito we were at Berrima, at that church in, at that church, when probably like 2000.
Everyone goes to?
Yeah, all the fellows go to for Easter and that. It's probably around 2001. Shout out Long and Jerome. Around 2001, we were there, and then my Tito Chito's like, you watch that Kobe Bryant? You see him? I'm like, really didn't know anything about, but I remember that. I remember him telling me. He goes, him and Shaq, blah, blah, blah. Then we didn't really have internet back then, but then slowly, I don't know, it was just, I had a Shaq jersey. I started playing ball with Pump and Tito Rex and all the boys.
That was like me with Chris Paul. Like I keep hearing Chris Paul. I haven't seen him play, and so I was asking my friends. I was like, "Have you seen him play? Is he actually good?" Like they were saying, like, "Bro, he's so explosive, and he always makes the right decision." And then when I watch him, I'm like, "Oh my God, he never makes any mistake." Like when that was young Chris Paul too, a bit quicker. But that's how I fell in love with him. Like I heard him, I heard about him, and then watching him, he's as good as advertised.
Chris Paul is good. I remember
my first games were MJ Utah Jazz. My dad was pretending he was going for Utah Jazz, so I can go for Chicago Bulls. And then every time Bulls is down, Jordan comes to save the day all the time.
Mm.
And if they lose, I cry for a bit, and then I'm like, Jordan's gonna win the next one. It's crazy, bro. Like he never lets me lose. I'm always on a high.
That's what I would always say to other people as well. Like when Kobe, like 2000 and whatever, up until 2000 when he retired.
Yeah.
But I felt bad for. I've only been. Oh, I'm not gonna say a LeBron fan. I'm a Laker fan, so I'm gonna go for my team and who's on my team. And LeBron James, since he's come, has been very good, especially with this year with AD and everything. And everyone knows the background of me. I hated LeBron. Everyone knows that, so I'm not gonna.
You're a hater.
I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't like LeBron. I mean, I love LeBron. All them years, I used to, even when he went to Heat and Long was watching and everything. But I would always tell people like, man, I would hate to be a LeBron fan because he just lets you down in the finals.
It's a different superstar, Ray. It's a different superstar.
Yeah, because Kobe, every time Kobe was in the finals, okay, not every single time, but he would always, give you everything. He's giving you everything. And we got 5 rings out of that.
The thing with them is like they'll go down with the ship.
Yeah.
Like with Kobe, with Mike, like they'll go down with the ship.
Yeah, no excuses.
The other one will jump the ship when it's falling.
No excuses.
Yeah, but it's a different beat. Like he broke a lot of like unwritten rules of basketball. Like, but at the end of the day, the players are benefiting now. Like they can manage themselves.
They can do what they want.
Yeah, they can do what they want now, which is good. Which is good for modern people.
Yeah.
That's the modern basketball for us.
If before coronavirus happened and everything, who was your pick to win the championship? And be real.
I always have Chris Paul to win, but if we're gonna be realistic, it's one of the LA teams, or maybe it's Giannis's time now.
You really think so?
I think it's Giannis's time. He's taken all the losses, like he's taken the route. He's failed and everything, and he's even hungrier every year. Like every year, he's a bit more hungry than.
I thought this is the thing with you, Joflow.
He only plays 32 minutes a game, bro.
Jobs, this is the thing with you. You don't have good basketball IQ like me, right? You don't have when it comes to watching games. Did you not see what LeBron did? Did you not see what LeBron did to back to Giannis and Kawhi on that weekend?
Bro,
and then
relax. I'm just saying, like it's either the LA teams or Milwaukee Bucks, because anything can happen in the finals.
Hey, Long, I don't even think Giannis would make it into the finals. I think Heat.
Who's gonna beat him?
I think Heat would have give them a good run, but wait, Jobs. You know who would have beat them? And you know what would have happened this? You know what's going to happen this year? Because I really think it's going to come back. The Celtics versus the Lakers.
That's a possibility because
Jason Tatum was coming into his own, and all the players when they're not injured, because they're always one's out. But when they're all together, that's a scary team. But we know what's going to happen. It's going to go 4-2 Lakers.
But go back to last year, Jeb. If they didn't figure out something last year, Raptors versus Bucks, Giannis was dominating that series until they found out how to guard him. Like they put a wall on him.
It's not that they found out, bro. It's known.
No, but they put a wall on him.
Yeah, and
like
that's
they
what's going to happen
designed an
this
actual
year.
defense.
What's going to change this year? That's why I'm just saying with your
He
IQ.
was, I think he was shooting more.
Yeah, he was. But you saw what LeBron did to him. Kuz.
I don't know. Like anything could have been possible. That's why.
But yeah, hopefully he comes back in the next. I don't know. What do you reckon? I saw that they're let back into the
Yeah,
training facility.
they're slowly loosening up the thing, but you know the second wave is always the deadlier wave, like when people are relaxing. So I don't want to rush into too much into this one because it's a virus at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. As much as I hope, like we come back sooner for my business, but
for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was tough in the first few weeks, but now, I'm sure it's tough for
It's
a
getting-
lot of
it's
people. I
getting-
can't
it's-
complain. I'm grateful.
It's all right.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's lives, bro.
It's crazy that we've never encountered or done anything like this. But this time is like giving us more time to work on other things, which I'm grateful for.
Even my dad, I was asking him like, have you ever experienced anything close to this?
No.
Like they've never seen anything like this.
No. No one right now. But yeah, hopefully we get back to normal soon. Hopefully we can get back on the courts. Hopefully the Lakers can get back on the court so we can get our 17th, because we know that's going to happen when the NBA resumes. I don't see anyone stopping us, and no one proved it at the end. At the end of the season, we're coming to our strides. No one proved it. Miami Heat, we beat them like twice. The Clippers, yeah, they beat us when it didn't matter, but right at the end, when we're really trying to get heated, we know what happens when LeBron plays. AD put like 40 on them boys. But yeah, hopefully everything comes and resumes soon.
I look like a kid putting faces.
Then we can go back to normal
But it's just
life.
because, like, you can have the perfect team, but when you start calling all of those, you know what's gonna happen, Jim.
Yeah.
Like you should just keep it on the low and then just cheer when it's all done.
That's true. Yeah, we're just trying to get better every day. So hopefully we can get back in the training facilities, get them legs good, and then we play the playoffs and see what happens. Get better every day, right?
Next week.
Yeah, they'll be back.
Next week, they're allowed to train again.
Because it's been a very long March and April. I don't know if you felt the same, but it has been a very long March and April.
You reckon they're gonna resume the season?
Yeah, 100%.
Is Nets gonna be in the playoffs? Because they're gonna have KD.
Brooklyn Nets? No, I don't think they'll put him back on. They'll save him, but that'll be crazy. But not enough time for playoff. You know, it's a whole different ball game. If they wouldn't let him play this year.
Maybe if they're in the playoffs, they'll push it.
Yeah, but they don't want to rush that. They know what happened with the Warriors. But yeah.
Wow, we went way overtime, bro.
Yeah. Well, we've gone 8
minutes overtime. Yeah, usually have Jordan to just cut it off.
Yeah, it's alright. We're just having fun. We're just talking.
Yeah.
Anyways,
thank you so much for having me.
We'll wrap it up
Thank
there.
you so much for having me.
That's all good. I want to thank you for joining in and being one of my guests, being one of my dear friends. I want to put it out there.
Thank you so much.
So
I'm proud of you.
No, I'm proud of you for what you're doing, and thank you for doing this. Everybody follow at Joeboy. Sorry. Everybody follow at Joflow Basketball on Instagram, on YouTube, on Spotify for the Basketball Diaries on podcast. I want to thank everyone that's watched. I see that we still have about 10 viewers on right now, but we've had about 100 people come on, drop in and out throughout the hour, and people that have watched me through Instagram Live. I'll let you guys know who my next guest is. You can follow me on @StartSomewhereMedia on Instagram and on YouTube. It hasn't been officially released yet, but we are starting soon. But thank you for letting us know how you started, because I'm sure there's someone out there that wants to, we all got to start somewhere, and I'm sure someone out there could be inspired to be motivated to actually start their own thing. So thank you for today, bro.
We got something in here, Jim. You have the
I'm trademarking it all.
You have a voice of a thing. Like I can see something here.
No, we
I
got
can see something special here, bro.
We just
Even
started.
though I don't have the eye for talent.
You don't have the eye for
I
talent
can
in
I can see
basketball.
something here.
You don't have the eye for talent for basketball, but you know you can see the good in people. I know you do.
Thanks, bro.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon. I'll let you guys know my Instagram story and on Facebook for the next episode of Word from Home. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shout out Joe Boy.
Bye bye.